up? What's up? What's up? This your girl CCS, aka Coach Classy Sassy. Coach Classy Sassy. And today, I'm looking at my notes. We're talking about what the wealthy won't tell you. Some people hint at it. They give you a little bit of nudge, but let's just put it out on the table. I made residual in the millions in residual income. And it's been a blessing. It's been a lesson. It's been life learned and everything else in between. So let's talk a little bit about this concept, the law of attraction. It's not magic. It's not Houdini. It's not, oh, fake it till you make it. It kind of is. Think it until you make it. So the secret, it's like energy and what it attracts. There's different vibrations. Like there's different levels. Imagine it like math. You add and subtract, multiply and divide, statistics and algebra, then you do calculus. So if you're on an adding and subtracting level, you can add and subtract. If you're on multiplying and dividing, you can multiply and divide and you can add and subtract. Because it goes higher up on a different level. And the frequencies that you go up, the higher levels that you go up. So the more positivity that you have, the more that you get, the more that you give, the more that you have. So this really, I heard it a lot. People were whispering about it. Positive thinking, The Secret, the book, the movie. And I was thinking to myself, okay. But there's different vibrations. And when I honed in on these skills, I actually was able to get the man that I desire, the money that I desire, and over my molestation, which is really big. And I did it in the reverse order. Good things continuously happen. When there's good days, you know how there's always good days and it seems like you're walking on sunshine and rainbows and everything's continuously happening good. And then there's days where there's bad days and you're like, nothing can go right. And then I told my roommate one time, I said, you know what? This is the start of a good day. And he was like, we ain't have nothing bad. And then I missed the turn. But that same turn I missed, they was at a stoplight, and I went around the stoplight. So I said, today is a good day. And for the rest of that day, it was a good day. So, trust in my intuition. Sometimes you have to trust your gut, your woman's intuition, your gut, your feeling, who you are, and who not worrying about what society say you are, but learn about who you are as a person. Who you believe you are. Live a life that's meant for you. So, everyone's born with a lifestyle and something that was given to them. And with that being said, each life, God can count the hairs on your head. And I'm spiritual. Some people call him God, Allah, whatever they want to call him. But I believe in a higher power. And I believe it's predestined before we get here. And with that being said, there's good days, there's bad days. He knows good decisions and bad decisions. What you will and won't do. And there's consequences to those actions. So, subconsciously, sometimes you have these thoughts, whether they're negative or positive, buried into your mind. And I remember my grandfather told me that the B word belonged in the kitchen. And I said, I never want to go to the kitchen. I don't want to cook. I don't want to be a woman. And then now, to this day, I have a fear of getting in the kitchen. But I finally said, with counseling and a dating coach, to say, one day a week, just cook one day a week. And tear up the kitchen, like cook the best meal in that one day. And then you can say you did your part. So they can have at least one day of rest. And I looked to the side, I'm like, girl, please. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take that one meal, I'm gonna cook it, I'm gonna do amazing things. So sometimes you have to relive the trauma. Have to go back before you go forward. If there's a gap in the story, sometimes you have to fill that gap up with truth and realize what's going on. I remember I prayed to God. I said, God, help me remember, what did I do when I was young to get over being molested? And it was weird. The weirdest thing happened. I was like a kid, and there was a man face. I'm like, who this man is? And I'm like, my eyes are closed, my eyes are moving, so I know I'm in REM sleep. I'm in deep into my subconscious. And then I'm like, what's going on? And he was like, it's time to run. And I'm like, run? What you mean? He said, that's the sport that you like, that no one else has to be with you, that you can do all on your own, cross country. And I said, I ain't got to depend on nobody. I ain't got to have no friends. I ain't got to be beat up or laughed at or talked about. I can do it all by myself. Let me try it. And he called me Paprika instead of Pepper, because he didn't want to sound racist. And I was like one of the only black students that he really pushed and motivated, that was kind of struggling, but he still had faith in me. So it was Salt and Paprika instead of Pepper. And that might be the name of my podcast, Salt and Paprika. I'm just having a moment where this abundance lifestyle continuously hitting me. Like, I was thinking about delusional dilemmas and delusional debates and stuff like that, but Salt and Paprika. And people are like, paprika? What about pepper? What about us black people? It's just a different funk, a different seasoning. I like it. I'm going to do that next. I'm going to record my first podcast. So check on Google Play at least, on Google Podcasts. And it'll be on other places as well. It's going to be Salt and Paprika. And we're going to talk about life, love, and lessons. Wow. Abundance lifestyle. Let's keep going. They're seeds, whether they're good seeds or bad seeds. People say things like, money don't grow on trees, and it made it like a scarce lifestyle where it's like, we don't have enough. It don't just come out of nowhere. We don't have McDonald's money, and then sometimes they had a 99-cent menu. You get it when it was on discount, because you couldn't afford the whole thing, and you had to get a piece of the pie instead of the whole pie. And these movies, these songs, these poems, these artifacts, these teachers program us to think we have to work our whole life, because they want us to be a worker so we can do the work so they can make the money. They want us to do the work so they can make the money. That's crazy. And they want you in a rat race. They want you to feel like you got to work 40 hours a week, making less than $30 an hour, sometimes 20, sometimes even less than that, sometimes barely 10, and they're making hundreds, thousands, even millions and billions in that same hour. It's just the mindset that they have. And this is what I had to do as a solution. I got a piece of paper and I folded it in half. And I wrote all of the negative things that I thought in my life. I thought, going trees, you're not good enough, the B word belong in the kitchen, and I just wrote it all down. And I had a brain dump, what they call it, when everything in my mind dumped on that piece of paper. Everything on that half of that piece of paper. And when I did that, I wrote everything, all my fears about money. And it was scary, traumatizing, that you have to work until you die. My dad paid for at least 5 funerals. He paid for his own funeral, but family members died before him. And a big one is the only way to make money is if you work really, really hard. And they said, you don't have to work that hard. And I'm like, but I want to retire again by the time I'm 68 with residual money so I can sit back and relax. But in order to do that, I'm putting to work now. You got to plant the seed. You got to water the seed. And even after you have the tree, you have to maintain it. You have to water it. Cut the vines. Make sure there's no weeds. And with this mindset, maintain. And I'm thinking about a wealthy mindset. They don't want you to know you can do this, because they want you to think that you have to do it for them, so they can use your services to make money instead of you be the one that's making the big bucks. It's like a gym. You have to have repetition. You can't go just once and quit. I know. I look big, but I do muscle, strength, and endurance. I love them ropes. Building muscle. All this. And then I be doing my little arms. They don't look as good now. But I'm about to go to the track, start walking. And it's just a beautiful thing. So looking at the people, there weren't many people that I looked at towards black excellence and money back in the days. We had Motown, we had Ebony, we had Essence. But the one who I thought of when you thought of black money was Oprah. She was a person who went through some things, some trauma in her life. And she made billions. I know she had over $1 trillion in her lifetime. And that was really a role model of mine, even though she had a scandal and slander and everything else. She was a role model of what it took to be black excellence. And now I want to be a trillionaire. I won't have it probably all at one time over the course of my lifetime. But with the money that we're making, we're going to put it into helping the veterans. The community helping veterans. And my why. The thing that keeps me going when times are tough. The reason why I keep going is because I almost lost my life to suicide. I lost my baby. I lost my husband. I lost my marriage. I lost my military career. I lost everything. I even lost my mind. And I needed a reason to get up. I needed a reason to move. I needed a reason to keep pushing. And I had a roommate who had a similar situation where a family member took advantage of power of attorney. Like the military tell you to get power of attorney just in case you die. But a person take advantage of it while they're alive and use it to their advantage and misuse it and abuse it. And I remember, as I close my eyes, I remember walking into my destiny and helping him. Because he had all the problems that I had, but he had the drive to keep working, to keep pushing, to keep going. And there's many more veterans that have resilience, whether it's PTSD, mental illness, emotional illness. Not all veterans are broken, but a lot of them dealt with things and seen things that no one else could ever even imagine. And it's my goal, my duty, my job to make sure that they are okay. It won't happen overnight. It's going to take some time. But I have this journey. It's going to take some patience. And it's not just to flex on my friends. It's not just to make money. It was from Trauma Tisha to Tisha the Trillionaire. And then that's it, guys. We talked about a lot. We talked about the law of attraction, the wealthy, and what they won't tell you. Like, it's sneaking out a little bit. It's creeping out a little bit. But we have to keep it going. Being aligned. We talked about atoms. We talked about vibrations. We talked about money. We talked about McDonald's money and how we don't have it. But you do have it. You just have to spend it wisely. Don't spend all your money on food. As I had to learn. We love to eat. We love to fellowship. Can we do it other ways? Can we make coffee instead of full meals? Because we got to make the $1 million interactions. Them trillionaire coffee dates. And looking at people like Oprah and having mentors. And not seeing the black dollar. And the podcast is coming out, Salt and Paprika. It's close to Thanksgiving when this came out. And I have to say before I leave 3 things that I'm thankful for. My family, which because they made me. My friends, because they motivated me. And my foes, because they also motivated me. They motivated me to keep going through the good, the bad, and the ugly. So be blessed, be loved, and most importantly, be you. And this your girl, CCS, Coach Classy, Sassy, signing out.